Welcome back to the Next Mission podcast. I'm your host, Alex Leonovich. After moving 16 times during my military career, I learned that moving isn't just about packing boxes or signing documents. Every move represents uncertainty. It represents change. It represents leaving behind what is familiar and stepping into the unknown. Today, I want to talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough in real estate: the emotional side of moving. Whether you're buying your first home, selling the house where you've raised your family, or relocating across town, anxiety is a normal part of the process. Understanding that anxiety doesn't just help buyers and sellers, it helps real estate agents guide their clients more effectively. So let's dive in. Imagine you're a buyer. You finally decided it's time. Maybe your family is growing. Maybe you've accepted a new job. Maybe interest rates finally make sense. Maybe you're simply ready for something different. Then reality starts setting in. Questions begin to flood your mind. Can we actually afford this? Are we making the right decision? What if we buy the wrong house? What if prices fall? What if we lose out in a bidding war? What if something major is wrong with the house? What if we can't sell our current house? The excitement you felt just weeks before starts competing with fear. Then the task list begins growing. You need a lender. You need to gather tax returns, bank statements, pay stubs, insurance quotes. You start looking at schools, researching neighborhoods. Maybe you're driving by homes after work, attending open houses every weekend, scheduling inspections. You're reviewing contracts filled with legal language you've never seen before. And meanwhile, life doesn't stop. You're still working, still taking the kids to practice, still paying bills, and still trying to have dinner together. Buying a home becomes another full-time job layered on top of your regular life. No wonder buyers become overwhelmed. Now let's switch perspectives. You're the seller. Maybe you've lived in this home for 20 years. Maybe your children grew up here. Every room holds memories. Then someone walks through your home and says the kitchen is outdated. They don't like the paint colors. They think the bedrooms are too small. Suddenly your home feels less personal and more like a product being judged. Now the work begins. You're repairing deferred maintenance. You're painting walls, decluttering closets, renting storage units, landscaping, signing up for professional photography, deep cleaning every room. Every morning becomes a race. We've all been there. Make the beds, vacuum, put away the dog bowls, leave the house within 30 minutes, because a showing has been scheduled. Then you wait. Did they like it? Will they make an offer? Did we price it correctly? Should we reduce the price? And will we have enough money to buy the next house? Can we even find our next house before this one closes? These questions keep people awake at night. Selling a home isn't simply a financial transaction. It's an emotional transition. Now here's the interesting part. The buyer has anxiety. The seller has anxiety. And the real estate agent often sits right in the middle. But the agent experiences a different kind of stress. Most people assume an agent's job is to open doors and write contracts. In reality, that's only a small portion of what we do. A large part of our job is managing expectations, helping people make decisions, keeping transactions moving, reducing uncertainty, and perhaps most importantly, helping clients stay focused on their goals. One of the biggest challenges agents face is working with clients who are not fully committed. Let me say that again. Working with clients who are not fully committed. Sometimes buyers they're just looking. They want to tour homes every weekend, maybe for months, sometimes even years. But they don't know when they actually want to move. They haven't spoken with a lender. They're not sure if they're staying in town. They simply want to see what's out there. There's nothing wrong with gathering information, but eventually, shopping without a destination becomes exhausting for everyone involved. The same thing happens with sellers. They say they want to list their home, but they haven't decided whether they're moving. They don't know if they'll rent or buy. They haven't started decluttering. They haven't discussed the timing with their spouse. They haven't identified what happens after closing. Their home sits in a constant state of preparation without ever reaching market. Weeks become months and months become years. The process never truly begins because the destination was never defined. This is why motivation matters so much. Every successful move starts with answering two simple questions. Why are you moving? Tied to where are you moving? And when do you need to be there? Those questions become the foundation of every decision that follows. When buyers know where they're moving and when they need to move, decisions become easier. When sellers understand the timeline, their decisions become clearer. Negotiations become less emotional. The process becomes more efficient. As agents, we aren't trying to rush anyone. Quite the opposite. We want our clients to move at the pace that's right for them. But we also recognize that an undefined timeline often creates unnecessary stress. Imagine hiking without knowing where the trail ends. Every step feels uncertain. Now imagine hiking towards a clearly marked destination. The path may still be difficult, but every step has purpose. Real estate works the same way. Goals create momentum. Momentum creates decisions. Decisions create successful outcomes. One of the first conversations I like to have with clients isn't about bedrooms or bathrooms. It's about life. What's changing? Why now? What does success look like 1 year after the move? How will your family's life improve? When clients connect emotionally with their reason for moving, everything else starts making more sense. They become more decisive, more focused, more confident, and interestingly, less anxious. Because uncertainty shrinks when purpose becomes clear. Whether you're buying or selling, give yourself permission to acknowledge the emotional weight of the process. It's okay to feel excited. It's okay to feel nervous. Those feelings mean the decision you're making matters. But don't let fear become indecision. Create a plan. Know your goals. Know your timeline. Build the right team around you. Ask questions. Communicate openly. And remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. If you're an agent listening today, remember that every client is carrying a burden you may not immediately see. Some are worried about finances. Others are worried about their children changing schools. Some are caring for aging parents. Others are relocating after military service or retirement, divorce, or maybe the loss of a loved one. Lead with empathy. Listen first. Educate often. And help your clients replace uncertainty with clarity. Because at the end of the day, people rarely remember every document they signed. They remember how they felt during one of the biggest transitions of their lives. And that's where great agents make the most difference. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Next Mission podcast. If today's conversation helped you better understand the emotional side of buying or selling a home, I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone preparing for their next move. Until the next time, remember this: moving isn't just about changing addresses. It's about changing lives. And the more transparent we can make the journey, the less fear people have of taking that next mission. I'm Alex Leonovich, and we'll see you next time.